All right, what's going on today? Hope everybody's had a wonderful day today. This is a late video. I want to share my thoughts. There's all kinds of good news and that's on uh, YouTube, or there's a lot of it is not good. Okay, I want to start to investigate and stay tuned for that video. I'm going to do that maybe later today on Anne Hetch. Okay, and I'm hearing about felony DUI. Wow, this is pretty serious stuff. Okay, so this coffee is not as cold as I want to get it. Give me a second. But let's talk about here an article I saw on a couple of video podcasters on YouTube, particularly like Dr. Boyce. All right, that's very, very professional in financial advice. Uh, and I'm just, want to try to give homage and also quote my sources for that young gentleman. He's been around for a long time, so maybe it's good to try to get some of your advice. And not only that, but he can give you the truth as much as he tries to give you hope on stuff. But I saw this on his channel and a few others about the Great Reset, but people that are on the workforce now that are this solid quitting. Okay, and basically what that is you have this Generation Z and some of the older millennials now, probably like 30, uh, let's see here, 35, something like that. Okay. One thing that I'm starting to see is they want to work less. They want to have more time at home. And I think that what they do is they look at some of the OGs or triple OGs like myself. I'm 51 years old. Actually, I'm the same age as Dr. Boyce. Yep. Um, but anyway, that a lot of your top people, maybe there's some in their 60s and maybe 70s, that now they're going to approach retirement if many of them are not already retiring because of this great recognition, okay? Because people are burnt out. That one thing I'm starting to see that a lot of these young kids, or these young people, these young, you nice young people don't want to work as hard, all right? Now, one thing in Las Vegas, being that, let's say, in 2020 and 2021, with a lot of people out of work and taking advantage of the PPA and all this other stuff, I ran into a few that, clients and all that, and they claimed that they worked so hard that, that some of them was about to snap, okay? On top of, having problems or whatever, if they're trying to start or trying to maintain a relationship. And I think now that one thing that I'm starting to see now is things are cooling down. And they don't want it anymore. They want to go home. They want to do their time and go home. Maybe possibly even maybe do a little side hustle or something like that, or maybe try to figure out a way out. And I'm going to tell you, I don't blame y'all at all, okay? Um, Probably when I was your age, 20, I don't know. In my early 20s when I was a reservist, I was more very ambitious. I was still actually out there working, delivering pizzas before I got into reserve or when I was a young reservist. And, I was still working out with some semi-pro basketball teams. That was like in the 90s, all right? So that's kind of like more my era, the 90s, part of the 2000s. I try to stay on top of things, but I'm not as vigilant on change. I like change slow, but like I was back then. Okay, so I think I started discovering things around what you're doing around 2016. I had worked in petroleum supply for 20 years. I got out the Army uh, late '07 or early '08. And even after that, I was doing fuel supply overseas, and I was doing it at the airport, at here what they call the air. Well, at the time, McCarran Airport, it was now Harry Reid Airport. Okay, um, and I was making something like maybe 10 years ago, maybe $93,000 as a fuel supervisor in Iraq, and then I got down to $20,000. But I do miss that money at the time when I worked at the airport in 2013. But at least I had more time with the family, because being over there in Iraq, you're going through imminent danger. You do make a sacrifice, and you're not around your family and your spouse and your children and all that. Okay, if you have a family, you go through a lot of sacrifice and a lot of imminent danger. And maybe I didn't realize that, because I looked at it at the time, was losing 60 or 70,000, not making 20,000. But sometimes time, okay, a peace of mind, you can't put a price tag on that. What helped me realize that was in 2016, I went to Afghanistan, took a measly contract for about 74,000, and got fired. And I think they realized they didn't need me like they thought they did, but I just had some issues because I was out of that environment for a while. And then I ended up going to school, and I ended up doing, at the time, Lyft. Okay? And, although I do get, to God be the glory, I do get some retirement and disability. And I did miss the work, but at least doing rideshare and all that. And I had a few other things I do that. And here, they paid pretty well, but I got the chance to not work hard, be home, be around, the family and kids, set your own schedule, okay? And you pretty much your own boss, okay? For the most part. A little bit less money when I first started, but I had a peace of mind. And sometimes you can't put a price on that. So I can't blame you for doing what you do. That way you can have time to work out in the gym, or you want to go shopping, or maybe, I don't know, you want to go travel, or you want to try to maintain the relationship with your significant others, all right, and be able to, to get some help while you're doing it. Hey, two heads are better than one, though, y'all, young people, and I can't blame you at all. But the one thing I will say, the downside about that silent quitting is, you got to be very careful, because if you don't produce to a certain extent that you have to produce, or that is something that's going to hit you down the road when they look at cutting people off, okay, firing people. Unemployment is about to go up, and I know silent quitting is you don't put forth 110%, but I think you just do just enough not to get written up, okay? We had a guy like that worked at the airport back in the day. His name was Caesar. I couldn't understand that he would take his time or whatever, do fuel planes and all that stuff, but you couldn't fire him because he was doing his job. And I'm like, so man, Caesar, man, come on, man. You could do a lot better than, what you did, a lot more with your time. So you want to be very, very careful about that. But, keep doing what you're doing. But again, I can't blame you for not I'm not going to say put your best foot forward, but some of the promotions and all that, because a lot of those promotions, particularly like salaries and all that, is more responsibility, and then there's more headache. All right, so I don't know, you have to be a certain person, a special person, to be able to handle those jobs like that with a lot of responsibility, or a lot of headache. All right, you really have to be able to deal with things, people. All right, above and below, and they're very, very stressful. So a lot of that is dealing with the stress. And again, before I leave here, I'll say this: if you can, start your own business, okay, of some sort. Find yourself a side hustle, even if you do work for somebody else. So that's my, assessment and my advice about silent quitting. Thank you for your time there, young people and older people. Okay, don't give up. And let me know what you think about this video. All right, peace.